And we're back. Actually, that's Beck. I'm back. That was Beck. That's Sex Laws with 2 X's. Wow. Well, it's been a while, huh? Where have I been? Jesus. God. God, Jesus. Everything wants to update. I've been gone 5 days. Spotify wants to update. My fucking phone wants to update. It's like, I haven't been gone that long. Anyway, hi, welcome to the stream. Tonight, it's good to be back. And, we here at Vinesauce have updated our privacy policy. And it's good to be back. And I'm glad that it's over, but it was a good time. I'll tell you all about it. So I got some stuff for you tonight. First, I have some PAX stories and some video. And then the next thing I have is Yoshi. And then maybe Risk of Rain 2. Because I am tired. Well, we'll talk about that. So let's begin. I have some PAX stories for you. And so I've been gone for a couple days. What was I doing? What's this PAX? PACKS. What is that? I don't know. We're going to find out. It has something to do with pox, like chicken pox. But really, it's a convention that I go to every year in Boston. You know that. And it was good this year. It's maybe, dare I say, maybe one of the best ones. I don't know. I loved this year's PAX. Granted, it is good to be back. Only a couple days of convention means that I'm ready to come back and stream and get back to my life. I feel good for the time being, but that could change any moment. You never know. I might have contracted the PAX pox, the con crud, the rot. But I'm okay for now, so that's good. But I have a video I threw together that I made in like an hour. And I'm going to talk over it and tell you about the convention, show you some of the sights, let you hear some of the sounds, and I'll describe the smells, because there were a couple smells. But, God, this is a crazy weekend. In truth, PAX this year was kind of different. It felt like with Twitch missing, it was a little weird. Instead of Twitch, it was just a bunch of like VR booths, but I'll tell you about that in a bit. Less cosplay this year. I didn't see too many cosplays compared to the previous years. Maybe that's just me. I didn't go Thursday. Thursday was the first day I was there. I drove up, and then I got there on Thursday night, and I went Friday. But the drive up was 6 hours. It's supposed to be about 4.5 hours, maybe 4, but it was almost 6 for me. The traffic was terrible. But more than that, there were 3 accidents in Connecticut. Connecticut, what the fuck are you doing? I don't understand. So that was a while. That was a while that happened, that it took so much time to get through those damn accidents. Upstate New York was no better. Upstate, well, not upstate, but, White Plains, just above the city, was also a nightmare. And then once I got to Massachusetts, it was fine. But the drive was good. I got to listen to the Lord of the Rings audiobook. Maybe you guys have heard of Lord of the Rings. Would you like to hear me talk about it for an hour? It was good. It was cool. What else? Oh, I listened to some music and some albums. It was great. But when I got there, the hotel I stayed at, the Westin, was crazy. I don't recommend it if you're an introvert. But I enjoyed it regardless. It's the one right next to the convention center. I did that 2 nights. And I'm glad I only did it 2 nights, because the other 2 nights I stayed someplace else. But we'll get into that. Why don't I show you some video, and then we'll talk a little bit more. So this is the... oh, wait, you know what? I may have some music to play over this. Which sounds just like the song I opened with. Kind of. So yeah, this is PAX. This is the obligatory going down the escalator shot that I do every single year. I didn't bring my camera this year. This is just my phone. I realized that the camera on my Galaxy S9 is almost as good as my SLR. And I said, well, what the fuck am I gonna do walking around with a giant SLR when my phone actually has stabilization? It's fine. The footage is maybe a little bit less crisp, but the convenience of the phone was choice. But yeah, this is kind of some stuff in almost chronological order. Now you can see they had the Enter the Gungeon stuff. They had football. Look at this football. It's a lot of football. I gotta be honest, I don't really know if that game was already out or if it was yet to be released. But people were lining up to play football at a convention. All right, esports merch, baby. No, here we go. We got 3D Realms brought some games. I'm gonna rewind. This game was the one they didn't show up until PAX, which is like a kind of like a beat 'em up about devils. I wonder if Dante is gonna sue. And then I played the demo of this. This is using the modified Duke 3D engine. They had the crossbow. You know, but all 3 games that they showed at the 3D Realms booth looked amazing, and I got to play this one, Wrath. This is the only game I played at the convention. And this is made using a modified Quake engine, but it still remains really true to Quake. It almost feels like a spiritual successor in a lot of ways. What the fuck is this doing here? I'm sorry, I don't know what this footage is. Anyway, okay, so we have a van. Is a gamer van. Red hydrogen. I don't really know what that was, but it's a van. Oh, look. There he is. Can't escape. Can't escape the neighbor yet again. Well, before I continue with this video, I'd like to let you know that I am tired. I've been going to bed a bit early. And I also have been waking up a bit early. And I drove for about 5 hours today. So I don't know if I'll be able to make it through the whole stream and all the art. We'll see. We'll see. But what they were giving out at PAX this year was this. Wake Up Eyes immediately cools and refreshes Jolt cooling lubricant eye drops. It's like eye fuel that gives you energy. Apparently it feels like peppermint on your eye. So they didn't give out Jesus Gamer stuff this year, as far as I could tell. I looked for the Jesus booth. It did not exist this year. But they had eye lubricant cooling drops that wake up your eyes and give you... Next. So, yeah, neighbor was there. Here's, a fucking thing. Here's a fucking... The graveyard keeper, you go into a coffin, and then a beard man... Hang on a minute, can we look at that footage again? We gotta pull up that footage. Pull that footage up. Okay, we're going back a little too far. But, yeah, that gamer coffin is real. Finally, after all these years, Nerd Coffin is real. So, Graveyard Keeper, the game looks fine, but they had you play the game in a coffin. I love it. So then this was cool. This was the Splatoon 2. Oh shit, here it is. Here's some footage of the Splatoon 2 Inkling Open. This is the competition. An Octoling is taken to the water. It's kind of going slow. It's hiding. It's trying to get away from the other Octoling, and it's hiding in the rocks. And oh, it's neighbor again. Yep. Oh, what's that? More neighbor? More neighbors? Wait, are we done with neighbor? Nope, more. Nope, there's more. So, you know, last year the running gag of my PAX video was, hang on a minute, we need to go back a bit. Last year the running gag was the neighbor stuff because it was everywhere. And this year I didn't even try to make it a running gag, but I kept filming and running into neighbors. So... yeah, for some reason they were showing off Farming Simulator 2019. And I was like thinking to myself, maybe I could get in there and I could, you know, do some glitches. I could ascend. I could climb a tree. I could fly into space. I could do all kinds of cool shit on their cool game. Play as your own dog. I don't know what that means, but you can play as your own dog. Oh, well, here's a cool thing. Square had some cool lads. So I want to thank you, Cloud. Thank you, Sephiroth. Not you, Squall. And thank you... Which one is that? Cecil? Oh, well, just when you thought you got away from Neighbor, there it is again. Right there in the Square Enix booth for some reason. Can we get another look at that footage? Yeah. So this was, as soon as you went down the escalator, you thought you'd be assaulted by smells, but instead you're assaulted by zombies. Now, I don't think they're allowed to touch the people, but they do, they do some scary things. Someone said, what a shitty job. You know what? Fair enough. Might be a shitty job. It might also be that you just have to act like an idiot and struggle and, like, hurt, you know, like, just, like, pretend to hurt yourself against a fence. Would 4 days? You just gotta do that for 4 days? Yeah, do it! Someone said, in this economy, it's either be a zombie or be homeless. Yeah, do it! Vinny, did you tell John Bloodstain that your sword is in the game? John Bloodstain was not there. It was just, part of the Nintendo stuff. Now, they had Mortal Kombat 11. Now, there's a couple things that you should note. Every game that Nintendo showed off... they had a big booth, by the way, this year. And, every game they showed off was on the screen, the big screen, except Mortal Kombat 11. You had to, you know, do, handheld. Because apparently the game runs well, but looks a little crusty. I don't know if it looks good. I read that it runs at 60 frames a second, and it plays well. But they had to take some of the graphics down. Of course, it's the Switch. You know, so... I wanted to play it, and here's a little bit of a story. They actually let me in to the Nintendo booth. I got to skip the line. And I didn't even really ask. I kind of just was like, hey... You know, I spoke to someone yesterday at the booth, which was true, and they said that I could check out a couple games. And they said, oh, go in, no problem. And then they took me to Caleb, or whoever, and Caleb let me in. But there were still lines to play the games, and the games that... There were 2 areas that you could play games, and the area they let me in was mainly just Yoshi, and, like... some other stuff I didn't really want to play, so I just got some footage, I looked around, then I left. I didn't stay online or anything. I wanted to play Mortal Kombat 11. So, that was the other, spot. That was the across the way. But, I didn't even bother. I just said, whatever, no problem. This, I probably should have taken a picture, but I got a video instead. Look at that Bowser. Is that also Rosalina with armor? This is like one of the few cosplays that I've seen. Chat. Swear on me, Jacobs. But that's a fucking awesome cosplay. One of the few I got footage of because there weren't too many. Yeah, some Yoshi footage. Again, it was a heavy Yoshi presence here at, and Facebook, apparently. But heavy Yoshi presence over at Nintendo. Crash Team Racing was there at Sony. They have Dreams at Sony. Now, imagine the confusion of people that don't know what the fuck this game is. And you're looking at, like, these crusty faces with, like, bulges coming out of them. So, like, I could film this for you. But without explanation... It's just very confusing. And then there's that. Just bulge out the eyes. Oh. Oh, cool, more neighbors just tied up at the back of their fucking booth. God damn it, neighbor. So here was the view from the Westin. Like I said, this was an expensive fucking hotel. I only did 2 nights. There were some mistakes that were made too. But I'm glad I only did 2 nights because it was too crazy and too expensive. But I wanted to, for at least 1 year, be a lazy cunt and just walk directly to the convention. And that was cool. I could wake up and just walk over after, you know, getting ready. This is, Saturday. And you'll notice there aren't a ton of people online because everybody was already in, because this was probably about like 12:30. You know, I didn't need to be there any earlier. In line. I say online, I mean in line to get into the building. Maybe people are online while they're in line, because we can do that now. Also, Boston. Can I just say, I love Boston. It's my favorite city, just outside of my own. But also, I might like it better some days than New York City. It's a beautiful city. It's clean, it's chill. The streets suck dick. Sorry. The driving is weird. But the city, the restaurants, awesome. Love it. There's other reasons to like Boston these days, too. Good fucking city. Here are the VR cubes that take up so much space. So what they're doing now is that instead of like a VR chair, they're giving you a whole like big like box. And there are, you can see Oculus and Facebook and a bunch. They're all over the place. So I feel like the real estate was, a couple years ago, it was definitely consolidated, and now it's just big open cubes. And you can see gamers just flailing wildly. Here's some, you know, footage of the tournament area, and then this happened. I got the footage real quick. Look at that ting. Look at that ting. And we got a Majora there too. Oh, this is, I don't know why I did this. By the way, this is a dude from Vinesauce. I was like looking at Cuphead. I was about to film Cuphead. And he was like, "Yo, Vinny!" And he told me whomst he was. That was pretty cool. Oh, can we look at Ting again? And then there's Majora's Mask on Skull Kid. And of course, I rotate the camera because I'm like, how do you work these goddamn phones, huh? Nintendo, you know, leaned into the Yoshi thing pretty heavily this year. But here's a cool thing they did, which was they had this rotating around the whole time, and they built a little cardboard scene.
Welcome to the Mixer Hype Zone, gamers!
Now, they were... Okay. Hear me out here. Because the Hype Zone, they were playing Fortnite, and some of the TVs had really crusty frame rates here at the Hype Zone, and they were doing, like, the blast horns. Every time someone, what is this, skull horn? What's the horn called? It's just an air horn? What the fuck am I saying? Skull horn. Here it is. It was this. So you'd be like they'd be narrating, and they'd be like, "Oh, we got some kills here. We got some. Oh God! Oh!" And no one was watching. Maybe like 10 people. But I swear to God, every time I walked by the Mixer Hype Zone, it was this. Every time I fucking would walk by, it would be an air horn. But, Mixer, you tried so hard. This, I didn't get good footage, but the Dead Cells booth, they had a pretty decent presence. You know, they had some physical stuff. Oh, that was a little effect I did. And I made this video in an hour. And I just threw it together chronologically with a couple of exceptions. But anyway, yeah, they did a little castle. They got the lighting kind of right for Dead Cells, and they sold some shirts and some pins. And I love Dead Cells, so I just wanted to walk over and check it out. Then there's this thing. So here's some YouTuber bait, which of course I will end up getting suckered into playing because it looks fucking hilarious. Speaking simulator. So whatever this is. And then, wait, more fish? How'd they get in here? Okay, so fish. Thrustmaster. I filmed this just because I thought the word Thrustmaster was funny. But apparently they've been around a long time, so it's probably not that funny. That, by the way, that hallway up there, that, like, glass tunnel up top, what is it? A walkway. I was told to avoid that because it smelled like ass. Let me tell you about the smells. Not too bad. Overall, not too bad. Now, the reason I gave out deodorant that one year is because I wanted to send a message. I feel like I didn't get assaulted with smells, though people were crop dusting. And you got to imagine people were drunk. You know, people were like coming in from a party, puking in the aisles. That happened, by the way, that's real. In fact, it happened right next to the Screenwave booth, which is where I was hanging out and signing. And on Saturday, like an hour and a half before I signed, someone just like projectile vomited in the aisle, just right next to Screenwave, and then the enforcers had to come and clean it up. And so they did that. All right. Other than that, I avoided the tunnel because previous years it did kind of smell a little bit, but I didn't get an overwhelming, like a little bit here and there, sure, but that's just conventions. Still, not too bad.
Fan gamer.
Oh wait, no, that's fake fan gamer. That wasn't. I don't know what that was. And then Bee Simulator, of course. I had to film a little bit of that. You know why. And here, okay, so I went to an aquarium today. Actually, here's a turtle named Myrtle, 90-year-old turtle, by the way, eating some lettuce, which was fortuitous because this was footage that I was about to leave. I got this. The aquarium, the Boston Aquarium, the New England Aquarium, rather, was right across from the hotel they put me at. When I say they put me at, I mean when Marriott fucked up my hotel thing several months ago, they were like, well, you can go to the Boston Long Wharf. You know, it's cheaper, and it's about a mile away. I said, sure, okay. So I, did that. And the aquarium was a 1.5 minute walk away from there. So I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna go to this goddamn thing. And it was great. I loved it. It's fucking legit. And I got to see a turtle, and some fish, and some shit. So, I usually do the escalator. I do the escalator going down. This time I got to, I was here about a half hour after. You get to see me trip now. I'm just remembering now that I'm about to fall, so I'm like, nope, okay, here we go. We're good. So as I was backing up, or rather, as the escalator was bringing me up, I was like, oh right, I have to actually get off the thing. So I succeeded at the last moment. I did it. But yeah, the aquarium was cool. I got a bunch of footage, some of which I interspersed, obviously. I have one more thing to show you. Again, that escalator scene was at the end of Saturday. I stayed about 30 minutes or 40 minutes after the show floor closed, and that's what it looks like when no one's around. This is the very end of Sunday. Nintendo has done this several years in a row now, where they give away some stuff, and they get a hype guy to have the audience go mental. So, there you go. That's PAX. I hope you enjoyed it. Fish included. I have a couple other little things to tell you. Just some other stories and stuff. And as usual, over the next couple days, I will, of course, remember more of them. But for now, I don't really. I'll have to just tell you what I remember. A couple things here. Just someone wanted to see more of the fish. Here you go. Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, so yeah, I had a good time overall. Like I said, this might have been the best PAX I've been to yet because I met a lot of great people. I got to hang out with some good friends, the same friends that I've been, I see at PAX every year. A lot of them, some new friends. Everyone I met on the line for the signing was really nice, and a lot of people wanted me to sign the vinyl of Another Light. That felt really nice. Thank you. Someone got me Johnny Walker Black Label, and I'm like, why? And they're like, don't worry about it. I was like, okay. And I got several other cool things that I will tell you about in the coming days because I don't remember some of them because my brain is fuck right now because of a busy, crazy weekend. But almost everyone was super respectful, really, really nice. They didn't just like yell at me or yell memes at me. And it was really good. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I don't have a lot of pictures that I took of myself, but other people took pictures of me, and I was in some crusty pictures. Let me tell you, I do not know how to pose for pictures. I have no idea. And I just look angry or like I don't know what a smile is, and it just turns into a big mess. Some pictures I look okay in, but I saw some really bad pictures of me, including one where it looks like I don't have eyebrows, which is just fantastic. Though I did get probably the best picture of me was this one, which I was very happy to see turned out pretty good. So that's me and a fan. It's just some guy. I don't know who this is. Some fan making a weird face. Actually, the truth is I'm the fan, and I requested the photo. But yeah, it was good. We had a couple drinks and talked about movies. You know what movie we talked about, guys? We talked about Lord of the Rings, actually. True. No, we did because I wanted to ask him about Christopher Lee because he did a video about Dracula, and he's not as big of a fan of the series as I am currently, but we talked about it, and it was good. And yeah, that was a Star Trek shirt. Yeah. So, what else? Yeah, but I got to say thank you everybody that made this convention great. You know who you are. Everyone I met, everyone that I've seen several years in a row at the convention. It's fucking you made me feel good by coming up to me and talking, and you got your Jape chapstick, and if not for you then I wouldn't be there. I acknowledge that. I'm appreciative. That's not to say that I don't get fucking tired. That's not to say that there's not some some smells and stuff, but it really was a nice weekend for me, and a lot of my friends were there. I got to meet. This is the part of the thing where I name drop a little bit, and I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna fucking do it. I went to the
YouTube gaming party.
They invited me through my the network Screenwave, and also one before that, and I got to hang out with Aaron Hansen, and he was really nice, actually, and we talked about mental health, and Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a really normal conversation. So that was cool. It could have been, epic gamer chat, but it was just like normal stuff. Um, that was cool. I talked to who else? Uh Gerard, the completionist, and She Says from Boundary Break, and Andy from what is it? Son of a Glitch, which I thought was my invention. I thought that I made that up. So yeah, I guess he's real. But I did watch his videos. He's pretty cool. He's nice. I met Beta 64. So like last year, I met Germa for the first time. He's not there, but he was, he's in Vegas now.
Guess I gotta go to Vegas.
I did miss a lot of people, but I did get a chance to talk to some other two bars, as they call them, right? Two bars. And it was cool. I don't like to bug people for too long, so I kind of make conversations brief. Um, yeah, but it was cool. Had a couple. Ross wasn't there, no. Wooly, no, I didn't see Wooly this time. But I've spoken to Wooly several times before. He's a good dude. Oh yeah, Failboat. Failboat was there. Mega 64. I spoke to Rocco. I gave him one of my chapsticks. Actually, I pretty much gave almost everybody one of the Vinesauce Jape chapsticks. So anyway, that's the portion of the stream where I name drop, and I say that when I meet a lot of these people, I find out that they're actually really nice in person. But again, who's going to be a dick when you meet them? It's not like, yeah, asshole, it's me, YouTuber man. It's not like that. But they were good to me. They were really easy to talk to, and we talked about just normal shit, which was cool. And I still felt like I didn't belong there. I think I'm knee deep in this imposter syndrome thing. It's fun. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Mike was. That's right. Mike was there. Mike was there. Imakuni was there. Jeff was there. Vigibum. Um. So yeah, there's quite a few people there. It was good. It was a good time. No, Hatsune Miku is who it was. Yeah. And V Dub. Yeah, of course he wasn't there. He'll be at Too Many Games. What else? Ate at a cool place that played Queens of the Stone Age, and it was really good taco and Mexican food. And shit, the U.S. Army was there, and they had like drones. Well, not drones, but like diffusal robots, and they had a VR like jumping out of a parachute thing. Like a dude in a ghillie suit was instructing people how to jump out of a plane. But then also there was they were playing Overwatch at the Army booth. So I'm just wondering how enrollment in the Army's been lately, that they're showing up to a video game convention being like,
Hey, gamers, do you want to join the army?
yeah, those are the guys you want. Well, maybe. I don't know, maybe the gamers know exactly what they're doing. They know how to like check them corners. This is a gamer right here. But yeah, it was an interesting convention. Do I have any other stories? Less smells than I thought, less cosplay than I thought, less emphasis on streamers, though we've come to the realization that everyone is a streamer. So, simultaneously, everyone's a streamer and no one's a streamer. More indie games, lots of good games. I showed some of them here, and I got to play only one, which was Wrath, which is the Quake, like game, and it's great. I really liked the way it felt. It felt like Quake. It felt a little bit more evolved in some ways. I like that there's a good melee weapon and not just a crusty axe. The shotgun felt good. The pistol was nice, and it's gonna be cool. I think I'm excited for it. And I got an exclusive Astroneer skin. They gave me a skin, so I'll show you that. when the time comes. Vinny, did you have your pre-drive poop? Thank you for the question, gamer. The answer is yes. I actually, yes. Correct. Vinny, on Twitter, you drew foot horse. Someone told me to draw a horse with human feet, and it was bad. Someone else asked me to draw meat, and it was also bad. And this was the convention I learned definitively that I cannot draw. Oh, last thing is, this con was exhausting. They usually are. I'm a little old bones now, so I think I might just get a little extra exhausted. You know, I made sure I didn't drink too much because I wanted to avoid hangover. I don't do well with hangover, especially if I have to meet people and be like present. But totally exhausted most nights. Passed out most nights. And really, let's say I didn't have any trouble sleeping. But it was good. It was a good experience, but yeah, it was very tiring overall. Maybe more so than previous years for some reason. I don't know why. So that was also PAX. And that's it. If I remember more, I'll tell you, but I guess thanks for listening. I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea. I know hearing stories about a convention, it's probably like old hat for a lot of people, but you know, they're fun for me. It's a weekend off. I mean, it's more work than other weeks, but it's also a time for me to get the fuck out and do a drive and, you know, listen to some music. And it was great. I had a great time, and thank you, everyone. Like, I go to these conventions, I'm happy to just go there and chill out and check out the games, but then there's the added bonus of people wanting to meet me, and you know, that means a lot. That means a lot to me. And this weekend I realized, like, yeah, I'm still a very lucky dude. So, all right. Let's yes. Oh, right, there's a fish on the screen. Sorry about that. Newcomers are probably very confused. The suckfish. Vinny, did you hand out the rest of the snow globes? No. Here's the last thing I'll say about PAX before I move on to Yoshi. Is this. I brought 20 vinyl with me, another light vinyl, and in boxes of 10 each. Those boxes were fucking heavy. And I had to bring one box at a time on top of the other stuff I brought. So I couldn't bring more than that without like actually putting some like real fucking effort into it, or like, you know, having people help me. CDs are so much easier to bring. And so what we did was, it was like you buy a vinyl and you get a CD for free. It was one of those, and people were into it, and it was cool. I mean, I'm not really going to PAX to make money. That's more just to have it there. People want the thing, and like, you know, it's a discount. But it was cool. It was actually really nice to have a vinyl to sign for people. That was a kind of a dream come true. However, the bigger dream come true was the fact that I brought like 400 chapstick up with me. And those were a pain in the ass to lug around too, because when you have like 5 of them, it's fine. What is that voice? But when you have 100 of them, it's a little bit more difficult. 400, holy shit, what a mess. God, what a mess. Though the real cool thing is when people told me, Vinny, you know, my lips are actually really chapped, and this has come in handy. So thank you, I needed this. And it's like, hey, no problem. So I feel like I did a service where I kept people's lips nice and moist and not crusty. So that was my true PAX gift, giving to the community the gift of moist lips.